Okay, listen, boys and girls. I think I want to start a gang, like a mom gang. You know, if gangs are taking over the world, and literally gangs are taking over the world, like quite literally, then we're going to have to figure out a solution how to combat the gangs. Because, I mean, kids, the world's gotten too crazy. And so if they're going to accuse us moms who are speaking up against just insanity, this is all insanity. If you truly understand just how deep all of this goes, it's insane. If you knew everything that I know, you'd be like, what the fuck is going on in the world? Because it's crazy. It's crazy. And I talked to a lot of people yesterday, and I met a lot of people, all with the same story. So you just got to start connecting the dots. It's not hard. And then you read about everything that's going on with our Supreme Court justices. Well, thank God. We've got good senators out there who are doing their goddamn jobs. So when someone else does their jobs, that makes my life easier, because then that means that's one less person that I have to monitor to make sure that they're doing their fucking jobs. Because that's what the problem is nobody's doing their jobs. Everyone's like doing their own thing. Everyone's gone rogue. Everybody's got their hand in the cookie jar. Everybody, all they care about is money, power, and control. Narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths, anybody on that dark spectrum of side of psychology, the abusers, that's all they care about. Money, power, and control. Like, they literally lack the capacity to have empathy and to be able to sympathize with others, because that's what happens when they're on the spectrum of the dark psychology, whatever it is. And any doctor will tell you that. Like, you lack the ability to have empathy, and so you can mirror it. Come on. Some of these people deserve some fucking Oscars for their performances. I mean, there's some monsters out there that, they are great liars. But you think about it, is they've been lying their whole lives. It's like that's how they've survived. It's insane to see. It's insane to see. It's insane to see the level of insanity that is everywhere and all around us. And I do a lot of inner city work. And, I'm not afraid to go into the other side of the tracks. Those are my people. I'm a poor white woman living in the inner city, in New Orleans, in the craziest place in the world. Chicago's bad. San Francisco's getting bad. New York is bad. They're all bad. All the major cities are bad. They need to be cleaned up. And it's as mothers, as very exhausted, tired mothers who are having to clean up the mess. And I'm just tired of it. I'm exhausted. Because literally, our children are being slaughtered in their seats. Like literally, at school, at home, on the bus, on the sidewalks. They're just being slaughtered. And our obsession with guns in this country has gotten out of control. Do you know that tourists come to New Orleans from all over the world and literally take pictures with their cops because they're fascinated with their guns, because they've never seen a gun before? I got some crazy stories about tourists and their obsession with taking pictures of us crazy Americans and our guns. And I talk to tourists and they're walking these streets. These streets of New Orleans are the oldest streets in America, like New York. The port of New Orleans at one point was like basically kind of the capital of the United States in terms of financial power and everything because of the port of Orleans, and it connected to slave trade. I mean, this New Orleans was like the number one port for slave trade. And like I posted this video, I'm working on this whole YouTube channel, like telling people the truth about this and how it all connects to what's going on today in the American court system. And they're just selling babies. What in the actual fuck is going on here? I mean, I haven't seen my daughter in 2 years. Do you know how many mommies I know out there and daddies who have not seen their goddamn kids because they're dealing with some crazy person on the other side or some government bureaucracy that is literally trafficking their children for money? And it's not all of them. Not all lawyers are bad. Nope. Not all judges are bad. Nope. Not all cops are bad. Nope. But you're only as good as your weakest player. That's it. You're only as good as your weakest player on the team. Get your shit together, people, and follow the fucking Constitution and do your jobs. Because we moms, we are not going away. Okay? These are our children, our DNA. This is our American, this is a human right to our children. These are human rights violations occurring. And America says they're a Christian nation. Christian nation, my ass. People. You need to wake up. Follow the senator who's following the paper trail with the Supreme Court justices. We need a judicial oversight committee appointed immediately, an independent one. And you know what, people? I'd like to be on the committee. Trying to figure out how to run for office here and do something to make a difference in my community because I care. Because I care. I care about our babies. And I know that there's so many of you out there who feel the same way. I would just want to fix it. Because I didn't go through all of this to not get grandkids from one of my daughters. I got three little me's. There are 3 little me's walking out in this world who are some bad bitches. Mommy made some bad bitches, and I love them. And you know what? My kids are mad. They're separated. They've been through hell. And you know, there's some bad bitches out there that need to be getting some motherfucking stitches right now. And I'm tired of it. And I'm tired of sitting here exhausted and drained at the end of the day from all of this because people need my help. And I'm one fucking person. And I've got to raise the funds, and I've got to figure, starting a nonprofit by not using grants, and it's, this is money, honey. And when these monsters engage in rule number 1 of this fight, it's called asset stripping. That's what they do to, the abuser's legal side, this legal defense of parental alienation syndrome, the biggest scam of all times right now in terms of family court. These people have a whole racket going on. It's racketeering. Come on. I've studied this stuff religiously for years. I've been obsessed with the Supreme Court justices basically my whole life. I think I was like 6 when I said I wanted to be the president. I wanted to be a pediatrician and a lawyer. And of course, I wanted to be a singer. At 6. I was a little pageant girl. I was supposed to be Miss America. I was a little John Benet Ramsey child. Working on my interview skills. If you could be anything in the world, what would you be? If you could, live anywhere in the world, where would you live? If you could save the world, what would you do? Come on, I've been answering these questions my whole life. They were grooming me to be Miss America. You know? Lord, my story's crazy. But it is what it is, and I am what I am. And there's nothing going to change it. And I'm on a mission right now from God to save these babies. And this is a complex, multifaceted, very deep thing we need to be talking about, because it's not just about family courts. Like, we got babies that can't read down here, graduating high school in the South. They're reading at like a 3rd grade level. I'm speaking to all the people. I'm getting all the statistics. This is what I do, people. I'm a super, super nerd. Like, super nerd. Like Sheldon nerd. Like, all I do is read and compute and spit out stuff and facts. You know, I'm autistic. Life on the spectrum's a little different. It's a little wild. I'm not going to lie. But it's fun. Like I said, you're always going to have a fun time when you hang out with somebody like me. You know, because yesterday, being down in the state capitol, you know, taking a look around, you know, if you come to Louisiana and on a LSU day or a Sunday, everybody looks like the Easter bunny. Like, everyone's in Easter colors, because all the colors down here are like Easter colors. Purple, green, white, gold, you know. And on game day, because football's a religion here. And I'm down with it, you know. I'm a sports head. Okay, I'm a tomboy. I was like a little skater girl, you know. I didn't want to wear dresses. I wanted to be in the mud. I wanted to play soccer. But I wasn't allowed to do any of that, because I would have gotten dirty or skinned my knees. And Lord knows Miss America can't have that. God, my life's insane sometimes when I say it out loud. But, you know, what I've realized down there in Baton Rouge, sitting, you know, with all the politicians, it's like it's a boys' club. It's a white boys' club. And I'm a part of the club. I'm a part of the boys' club. I've always been a part of the boys' club. I'm the girl in Vegas. I'm not partying, like acting a donkey in the pool. I'm sitting at the cabana watching the Yankees play or the Giants. Like, that's where my head is in this world. You know, I don't like the fighting. I know there's crazy women out there. I deal with them all the time. I was raised by one, you know. I've lived all of this abuse. I've survived this abuse. I've come back from the pits of hell, like literally suicidal pits of hell. I mean, darkness, you know. And I pulled myself out of this shithole. I mean, I still kind of am in the shithole, just financially, but mentally and everything. Like, I had to get my shit together, you know? I have a 5-year-old daughter. And through all of this, I learned I was autistic and everything else while dealing with my other children and life, not just processing the insanity that I've been living through the family court hell with having my goddamn daughters fucking kidnapped from me. Like, what is this? It's extortion, racketeering, white-collar crimes. I'm sick of it. So, I'm going to start a coalition. It's going to be like the Bethany gang. I think I want it called the Baby Defenders. That's what I came up with, the Baby Defenders. Because we've got to unite. This isn't like a woman thing or a man thing. I mean, this is a domestic violence thing. Okay, and domestic violence is on both sides. This is a child abuse thing. Child abuse, women abuse children, and men abuse children. And however else you identify. Okay? The crazy people are still crazy. And we have to, like, start arming ourselves and creating the systems that are needed to be created. And we've got to use all our superpowers, because we all have our own skills. You know, we're all educated, smart people. That's the theme that I have found through all of this is, you know, They don't fuck with no stupid ones. That's for sure. And, you know, the good people just need to unite and just take the bad ones off the bench. You know, ethics. Do your jobs. You're all violating the Constitution. Good Lord. And you're engaging in human rights violations. I mean, come on, people. So that's my rant for this morning. I'm going to kind of take the day off. I'm going to answer, make a couple calls. I've got some important phone calls to make and people who have called me. And then I'm going to take the day off today. But first, I'm going to court watch up in New York. I think I'm going to be in the Bronx today. I think. So, New York, I love you and I miss you so much. The Big Apple. But boy, there's some dirty crooks up in the Big Apple. I just don't get it. I definitely need a trip to New York. I got to go meet some new friends. Got to go save some babies in New York. That's for sure. Because there's some daddies. There's some good daddies up there that need help. So let me be the bridge in this movement. Let me be the one that goes between the dad side and the mom side. We need to talk this out. Communication is key. We can't get anywhere and make an impact and truly bring these children home if we're fighting, if we're infighting, you know. Power in numbers, people. Power in numbers. And we, the people of the United States of America, have the power. And we don't have to get violent and crazy. Just use your voice. Just vote. Just vote. And demand justice and accountability and call your local state representatives and tell them to do their jobs and to ensure that the people who are acting agents of the state in which you live in and of the federal government are doing their jobs. Because their negligence is killing children. And then that makes the people liable for their damages as a result of the injustice that was served, as a result of their inability to do their goddamn job. New York, I'm coming for you today. Chicago, I'm already there. Utah, oh boy, getting good in Utah. California, oh, I'm good in California. Texas, I see you, Texas. And I'm in Texas. Florida, I see you, Florida. I got lots of people messaging me from Florida. There's North Dakota, Wisconsin. You know what we're doing. Who else do I got? I got some people in Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia. I got people from all over the world contacting me, asking me for my help. It says a couple things to me. It says a couple things. But it's the biggest thing it says to me is that there's a lot of people who need help, who missing their babies. We got to bring some babies home. And we got to nurse them back to health. And we got to love on them. And we got to heal. And we just have to do the right thing. And I'm on a mission right now from God to save his babies. So if you want to join in my coalition, keep following me, sharing my content. I may not be able to answer all your messages, but I do, if you comment on my stuff, I do pretty much read. I try to respond, trying to figure out this tiki-taki algorithm. People, we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of rebuilding to do in this country. to heal us from this madness. But we can do it. You just got to put the mommies in charge and the good daddies in charge. The good mommies and the good daddies. Let's preface that. The good ones, because there's a lot of good mommies and there's a lot of good daddies out there, who just want to be able to send our kids to public school and feel like they're going to be safe. Like, people, we got to wake up. Okay, we got to change. I just want to be purple. I've been red and blue, both sides. Remember, I've kind of lived all over this country. So let me help you. Let me help you, America. That's what I feel like right now. But I know people are watching these videos. And I know they're helping people because I hear it. And I love it. And I appreciate it. So I don't get paid for this. I'm just doing this because I'm mad. I just want my baby back. You want me to shut up? Bring me back my Addison Grace Barton. She's almost 16. She's out there in Gilbert, Arizona. My little baby. She's at Mesquite High School. Addison Grace Barton, your mommy loves you and misses you. And I'm on a mission to bring you home because we miss you. And there's so many babies out there in this world like you. And they're feeling so much pain deep inside. And they're learning to mask it in very unhealthy ways. And this type of trauma is child abuse. It's actual, literal child abuse. And it's causing traumatic brain injuries. And there's a lot of good doctors out there who know this to be true. And there's a lot of bad doctors out there who know this to be true and who are intentionally doing it to children and conducting unethical medical practice and engaging in scientific behavior that is egregiously inhumane. See, when the super nerd becomes exposed to all this madness, the super nerd just digs deep and researches, connects the dots, and uses all my intuition and all my special skills to figure this out. I just want peace. I just want love. I just want people to heal. But I want to ensure people are doing their jobs and that justice is served. And that we rid ourselves of some Nazis, because there's a lot of Nazis in America. I wrote a song about that. So this is basically my podcast episode number 1. And this is kind of how we're going to do it. And then I'm going to post it somewhere. I have to convert it. So I'm going to have an audio and a video going at the same time with these late night conversations. It'll just be like a 30-minute podcast. But people, we got to wake up. We got to join forces. I mean, this is like superhero battle time. Like seriously. And I'm trying to figure out, people keep telling me I'm a superhero, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to own it. Because I'm starting to watch Marvel movies. Never have I ever. It's a new thing for me. I wasn't allowed to watch TV as a kid. Remember, I was raised by Joan Crawford. But yeah, so I'm like, what do I want my superhero costume to look like? Because I live in New Orleans, and I can do whatever the fuck I want to do, and I can be whoever the fuck I want to be, and I'm ready. I'm ready to take over the French Quarter and start some businesses and make a difference and figure out this homeless situation and crime and figure out how to fix our babies so they don't want to commit these crimes anymore. We got so much work to do, but we're going to do it because we women, we get shit done. I have the Don't Stop, Get It, Get It. That's the song that's in my head. We just got to get it. We got to work at it. You know? We got to fight to be heard and fight for the Constitution. We got to fight for our country, our children. I mean, we got to figure this out, people. We can't have our babies dying anymore. I can't listen to these horror stories anymore. Like, have you watched a mother bury a child? I have. Have you heard a mother's cries when she learns her child has died? Have you ever been around that force of just grief? Because it's a cry I pray none of you will ever know. And it's something that will change you deep down to your core. And I can't know that there's people out there like that. That's just not how I operate. I'm a connector. I'm one of these people that has a lot of friends. I got a lot of friends. I got a lot of friends in high places. I got a lot of friends. I don't know, what can I say? People like me when they get to know me, but usually I rub them the wrong way at first. But I'm autistic, and I know what I do, and I own it. Because I am who I am, and I am what I am, because I am the way I am. And I've taken that in and had to sit on it and digest my crazy life. Because my life's crazy. My life's been crazy. I was raised by a crazy person. Crazy people create crazy for everybody else, right? So we got to fix that problem. We got a mental health crisis in this country. Boy, oh boy, and it needs to be fixed. Fixed. And we got to create the solutions to fix it. But I can do this because I am a business prodigy. And I got lots of ideas. That's why I'm going back to school to be a producer. So I can figure this out. And figure out all the systems that need to be made to fix our babies. And to heal you all. And to just dose you up with lots of dopamine and serotonin and everything your brain needs to heal from this horrific, complex PTSD and ongoing trauma. So we have a lot of work to do, people. But I'm neutral. I'm purple. I'm from Louisiana. And I'm going to do everything in my power down here in the great state of Louisiana, to make this the best place and the safest place in America to live. Because I'm on a mission from God himself to save me some babies. Because my nickname's Bethany James, a.k.a. the Baby Whisperer, a.k.a. the Baby Defender. So I got some really cool people I got in my little coalition. So if you want to join, just follow me on the TikTok. You know, I think that's the best place for freedom of information at this time. And I'm going to work on some other platforms. But I got to get a new computer. There's a whole thing. I can't find my charger. There's a whole thing about being ADHD and autistic and trying to be a superhero and save the world. I need an assistant and a nanny and people I can trust in my world, because the world's crazy down here in New Orleans. But I love it. It's a beautiful, magical place, this city. All right. Crazy episode number 1 has been complete. Wishing you all love, light, and peace. Fight on. Let's go save some babies, boys and girls, and everyone else in between. Good night. Au revoir.